Hi guys, Karen here. Today I'm doing a layout based on this sketch by Laura Rumble that she created for National Scrapbooking Day. And the photograph is a picture of myself and my younger daughter on a walk by the Thames a couple of weeks ago in the sunshine. And I'm going to be using these two inks from Dylusions as the backing. You can see on the sketch it requires a bit of mixed media on the background. So the pink one is Funky Fuchsia. And then the orange one is called Tangerine Dream. So I'm just going to do a little bit of the packaging technique, starting with the pink, getting really messy and splotchy there. And then I'm going to do a bit of the orange. So the pink is to match the t-shirt I'm wearing, and then some orange, because that's the colour my daughter's wearing. And the idea is that I'll get the orange behind her side of the photograph and the pink on my side of the photograph. There's a bit of mixing in the middle, but it more or less works out. You don't see an awful lot of that by the time I've done all the layering. And now I'm going through the papers that I got in my grab bag from the Hip Kit, just trying to pick some papers that would go with the photograph. So the first one I've chosen for my first layer is a Hip Kit exclusive paper. It's actually a Christmas paper from the Holly Jolly collection, and it's called Winter Wonderland. You'd never know it was a Christmas paper though. And then I'm going for this paper from Simple Stories, Sunshine and Happiness. This very jazzy paper, but it's got all the pinks and oranges and bright colours, again, that I thought went rather well with the photograph. And now I'm doing just a narrow strip from this paper, and it's also Hip Kit exclusive paper from the Just Dream collection, and it's called Explore. And I'm just looking at the sketch there, because that had to be a slightly narrower piece on the backing sheet. And then the final piece I'm using for the as a layer is another piece from the Sunshine and Happiness collection by Simple Stories. Really beautiful floral paper called Happy Day. And this is just lovely paper. I also did a bit of fussy cutting from this paper, which will appear a bit later on. So I'm just cutting a small area to the bottom half of the layers of the photograph there, just on the bottom right hand corner. So there's just a few layers there as required on the sketch. Now I'm taking out my tag template sheet. I've had this sheet for years and years and years, and it comes out quite regularly. I've used it loads. It's really handy. And I'm just creating a tag from this die cut sheet by Amy Tangerine from the Oh Happy Life collection. I thought that black and white pattern would make a nice tag top, as there's a tag that's got a tuck behind the photograph layers to the right on the sketch. So I'm just going to cut this into a tag shape, and I shall use this for my journaling. The journaling will actually tuck behind the photograph. It doesn't need to be secret journaling, but it works out to put the journaling there. There isn't another obvious place to put it. And I've just taken some of this paper by Chamel. It's called from the Little by Little collection. It's a beautiful floral paper. I ended up with a couple of sheets of it. I had some in my latest Hip Kit, but I already had a sheet, and this is the one I've cut up into just a few flowers that go with the photograph. And I fussy cut them, and I'm just tucking them behind that corner, and that piece is going to just sit on top there, and some pink ones are going to go on the left. There's a few pink ones from the Little by Little paper, and then there's some other florals there from the Sunshine and Happiness paper as well, that floral paper. And that's where the tag will just tuck behind the photograph. And I've decided that I have to colour it in. It just seemed to cry out to be coloured in, that little bit of black and white design. So I've got a bright pink pro marker there that I've picked out, just to colour in the sort of swaggy shapes in the pink to go with the pink top that I'm wearing. And I'm just going to put a little bit of cord on there. Well, it's not cord, it's more of a sort of twine, quite a thick white twine that I'm using just to put on the tag. And then I found this pen. I've had it for years. It was a bit difficult to get the colour keep going. I kept thinking it was going to run out, but it's a Marvy pen, and it's double-ended, but it's quite old, so the ink has almost run out. But I just about managed to get enough out of it to create some orange bits in as well. And now I'm just going to put some foam on the back to lift the photograph up a bit away from the backing. And because I'm going to be tucking that tag behind the photograph, I needed to cut round the shape on the funky foam so that it would tuck into that, sort of tuck under the photograph, but not actually have to be caught up in the foam. So I just cut round it, tested that it fitted there, and now I'm just going to stick that foam onto the backing, and then I'll be able to slot the tag into that space when the time comes, when I'm ready to put that in. I'm just doing a few ink splatters now with the same inks that I used with the packaging technique earlier, the Funky Fuchsia and the Tangerine Dream with the orange. Can't really see it very well, but there is just a few little delicate splatters there. Don't overdo it. And now I'm sticking down my die cuts, the flowers that I fussy cut earlier. I'm now ready to stick them down. So tucking that lovely big one with the leafy bits, tucking that behind the top right corner there. And then the pink ones are going to go down the left. So that's from the Sunshine and Happiness paper. And that one is from the Little by Little paper. Now I'm ready to stick my photograph layers down. With the funky foam and the hole cut out of it. And that one's just going to be that piece of, well, not that one, so that one is going to be just lifted up. I have to put a bit of foam on it just so that it will sit on top of the photograph. You know, I just stuck a bit of foam on there just so it sits there nicely. And I thought about putting that flower in, but it wasn't really, didn't really fit there. So now I'm doing my bit of journaling on my tag. And just saying where we are, that we're walking along by the Thames during a visit we had some family over from various parts of the world, and we all went for a walk by the Thames. And now I've got I'm taking, this is a sticker sheet I got in my grab bag. It's I think it's from the Finders Keepers collection by Amy Tan. And I'm just finding a few stickers just to pop on the layout, just to give it a little bit extra, little bit pops of colour here and there. They're all fairly, there's nothing, there's like a crisscross pattern and a zigzag pattern, and just little bits of colour to pop around. Now I'm looking for some words to use for my title. This is some Amy Tangerine thickers, some thicker words. And in the end, I picked out the word just from there. And then from my hip kit letters that we had these letters in our Christmas kit. I think it was probably November, and they're pink with a bit of gold on, and they're just the word us, so it's just us. There we are, that's stuck down. I don't think there's an awful lot more to add. I've just picked off a few hearts, some from the gold thick gold puffy stickers, or the gold foam stickers on the letter sheet, and a few stickers from the Amy Tan sticker sheet. So I'm just sticking those down, and a few little gold glittery hearts that I had in my stash, sticking with it. And there's a couple of little crosses there by the Just Us that I've stuck on. And now I'm just stamping on the date, and that's it. It's quite a simple layout. It's a nice little sketch that we were given there. Oh, the final touch. I thought about it for a bit, and then I decided I would do a border just around the edge. Don't really very often do layouts with lots of white space. I find it quite difficult to leave it so white. So the border had to be there, but that was it. That was my last touch. So thank you for watching. It was nice. It was a nice layout to do, nice and quick, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe, and come and join me again. Goodbye.